to introduce our valedictorian. He is the son of Abit and Suhuli Roy. He is the member of the varsity tennis team, a national champion in the Business Professionals of America, a published researcher in material sciences, quantitative finance, and economics, a three-time Amy qualifier, a Coppell High School Red Jacket. His community involvement includes National Honor Society and being a docent at the Perot Museum of Arts and Sciences. He graduates with a GPA of 5.7490. He will be attending the University of California, Berkeley, and majoring in electrical engineering and computer sciences. I present to you the valedictorian of the senior class of 2018, Agnibho Roy.
Ladies and gentlemen, students, teachers, faculty, and administration. I had a thought in my head of how it would be like to stand in front of one of the largest graduating classes in Coppell's history. And it's not any different from what I had imagined. Quite nerve-wracking and overwhelming in front of individuals both foreign and familiar. Some seem to have a predisposition of me as an academically driven individual with minimal social interaction, but in all honesty, I'm quite similar to all of you. I walk the same halls, procrastinated on tests, and often screwed around in class. You can confirm that with a lot of my teachers. Despite having the title of the highest grade point average, there are many individuals in this class with unimaginable talents and passions deserving of this position. But today, I'm glad to stand in front of my peers and teachers to have the honor in welcoming us into the next chapter of our lives. Coppell High School's class of 2018, we finally made it. For months beforehand, or actually as a guilty confession just a few days before my deadline, my sincerest apologies, Ms. Arnold, I did what anyone else in my position would. I Googled best valedictorian speech ever with 10 exclamation marks after it, and from the highly credible source of YouTube, I was told to not use an analogy for the 4 years of high school and scatter motivational quotes. I'm sure you've heard enough of that from teachers and parents. Rather, I think it's more important to take little steps backwards and look at how we have unfolded as students, individuals, and leaders in our magical 4-year journey together. We started the closing gates, senior year, when we finally laid back in relief, finally got to stand proudly on the senior bridge, and when we looked at the underclassmen and asked ourselves, were we ever that short or annoying? But we really didn't have it all figured out. It was an emotional struggle. It was the last time we would cheer as a Coppell Cowboy, or go to honor roll lunch, or laugh with our friends at the pit, and definitely the most saddening of them all, never having to panic at 12:01 because you didn't do your Memby for the week. Students by the hundreds fell victim to the plague of senioritis, giving rise to side effects such as asking for the retest before the original test even begins, student attendances looking like a checkerboard, and becoming friends with, of course, the one and only world of Fortnite. By the way, you can add me, Extreme Swagger 345. Don't judge me, I made that in middle school, so. Taking a step back into junior year, we weren't so sure. It was the best of times, it was the worst of times. A slew of standardized tests and AP classes hit us like a train. But this was also the year that we made an identity for ourselves as we individually accomplished many goals. Varsity soccer went to state, tennis secured 3rd place in boys singles at state, congrats Justin Chen. BPA had top 3 finishes at nationals, and much more. When we talk about all these successes, we hardly remember how lost we were our freshman year. You know, those miniature, corny, and overly pretentious versions of ourselves. Now we stand here 4 years later as brighter, mature, for the most part, and have not become just hard-working individuals, but better, efficient, and smarter. That is excluding the select few who have digressed and adopted the culture of finessing, which, coming from the Coppell Student Dictionary, means to put in minimal effort for maximum gain. But truly, we've been through so much together. Numerous tragedies nationally in schools, scares of Ebola, and of course, Dr. Jung's IDs and strict exemption policies. Now, today, we stand here at a celebration of the triumph of education. But what does it really mean to obtain a high school diploma? A saying goes that education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world, and it's what remains after one has forgotten everything they have learned in school. It is the emphasis on not what, but how to learn and think. Learning when the cotton gin was invented or the integral of 16x cubed is not what makes us successful. By the way, it's 1794 and 4x to the fourth. But it's the ability to gauge our potential towards creating a better future and knowing what path is right for us. Yes, we all came here with a blank book our freshman years to be filled with the greatest stories and experiences, but we wouldn't plagiarize. We wouldn't try to be someone else or have our stories influenced by external factors. This book would be written on our own terms, with us as the sole author, destined to eventually be a bestseller. But we couldn't have gotten so far without the support of others. Although being valedictorian may seem like the perfect life, it is far from the truth, and I'm deeply thankful for my dear family, friends, and teachers for standing by me through the struggles of my journey. I'm thankful for those who have taught me to become a better person: Yash, Sunny, Cameron. For those who I could always share my closest thoughts with: Deepa, Justin Sharma, Abram. And for those who never failed to make me laugh with their humor: Zach, Jerry, Steve, and sometimes with a pure goonery. Yes, I'm talking to you, Jay Chen. I'm thankful for my families, Red Jackets, and the tennis team, and our chem squad. But speaking of family, I don't know where I would be without my parents. Papa, I know that oftentimes I don't get to see you because you're always traveling, but you've always been there for me in the most important times. It is your hard work and dedication that I take for inspiration and try to replicate in every moment of my life. Ma, I don't even know where to start. From leaving your job to always dropping off things for me at school when I was my irresponsible freshman self, there's never been a time when you have not thought of me. Sacrificing your career and your goals to help build mine is truly astonishing, and I hope that I've done everything to make you proud. Finally, my loving sister, Sana. I finally have the whole summer left to play with you, as I never do because of school. You never fail to pester me when I'm studying, but honestly, I'll miss you so much next year. I'll save my tears for later, but I'm truly indebted to my family and their continuous efforts to improve the lives of me and my sister. It'll be something that I will never forget. Didin Tana Dala, I want to thank you for staying up this late back in India to congratulate me on one of the most important milestones in my life. I know that this is only the beginning of our journey that we have laid the groundwork for, and the one that lies ahead is in our own hands. You have the power to do whatever your heart desires, to be a big corporate lawyer, a millionaire businessman, or even a doctor or engineer. Yes, I'm talking to you Asians out there. I think that amidst our ambitions and the race to become the best, we often forget to cherish the best moments in life and truly express something that is a gift to mankind: happiness. So for now, let us put the joy and excitement of the coming years aside and be happy in the moment. Happy to be who we are, and happy that we have become the best versions of ourselves. Now, if you were to ask me, class of 2018, if I think that we are successful, I would most definitely say yes. Why? Because we come from a school with a tradition of excellence and hard work, and we have learned to strive for the best and never keep our foot off the gas pedal. We live in a nation of equality, opportunity, and the freedom and power to choose our own way, which in my opinion is the biggest blessing anyone could have. I believe in all of you, but most importantly, it's important to believe in yourself. Put yourself out there, prove yourself, and seize the day. Thank you.